So in this episode, we are going to be building the contact section. And in the previous episode, we built the about section and the skill section. So if we go to the deployed version, you will see how it looks. So I'll go back right here and I will bring down my tools and drag this down a bit. Now open VS Code. Oh, you know what? Instead, I'll just stick to what we're doing. So I'll just push this by the side. Alright, so I'll go to my sections. I'll call this contact.gsx. Say ROAFCE. And I'll get rid of this one. I will change this to section and give this an ID of contact. I'll name this section. Alright, so inside it we'll bring in the container class and we'll bring in the title component that we've already created. So I think I need to open this. Alright, so I think I can now import it now. And this will have a title of contact. Then the highlight should be me. And we'll set the center to first. Then the subtitle as well should be get in touch with me. So if we save now, nothing is going to happen, but we just have to go to our app.jsx file and bring it in. So we say contact section, say contact, this one. And if we save now, you can see that we have it right here. And we also need to come right here and add a class. Set this to have a padding top of 32. Alright, so we need to create another div. It should be a div, and this div is going to have a class name. I'll set it to grid on desktop screens and up. Still set it to have grid close of 2. I'll set it to have a gap of 16. And inside here we'll pass in the form. So the form will be a separate component on its own. So we just let me quickly just create that now. So say form gsx, say RFCE. Let me close back my site tab and cut this out. So now we can go to our contact and I can import this for now, like so. Then underneath it will have a div, and this div will just be responsible for this entire section right here. So give this div a class of MB16 and a margin top of 8. And here also bring another div and give it a class of margin bottom of 2. Set it to flex. Also want to set it to flex wrap. Items will be center. Justify will be start. If I can spell justify well, so justify start. Then add a gap of 2. And inside that div, we'll bring in the phone emoji or the phone icon, and we'll give it a class. I'll set the size to 5. And since this will be displayed side by side, so this and this, we just need to come here and bring in the anchor tag. So we say this should not go anywhere, but this should have this phone number. So let me just quickly copy the phone number. By the way, this phone number is not a real phone number though. So give this a class name and set it to text large. Font will be semi-bold. Transition will be colors. Duration will be 300. Then on hover, we set the text to blue. It should be text to the blue 600, which is our primary color. 600. So save, and if we check now, you can see it's looking nice. And we're going to repeat the same process for the email as well. So I will just copy this and paste it here. Then I will change this to mail, and this should be mailed to this email. You can paste that right here, and let's also not forget to import our mail. So we can save, and if you want to be explicit, you want it to direct to an actual mail, and I think I'll do this for the phone number. You can just come right here and set this to mail. I want it to mail to this email right here. So I just paste it like so. While this one, set the tail and add the phone number like so. So now if you're on the phone, it's going to just automatically make the call. So let's save and see what we have. All right. And for this part, we just need these social icons right here. So we can come underneath and create another div and give it a class of flex wrap. Items will also be center, justify. Can't type today for some weird reason. Justify should be start. Gap should be 4 as well. Then inside here we'll have an A tag, and this should not go anywhere. And inside this A tag we'll have the Facebook icon. So this one, I'll give it a class, and the size should be 6. And for the styling, we just say on hover we want it to move up, so negative, translate Y, and just use 2. Then on hover we also want the text to be the blue color, and we want the transition to be all, and we also want the duration to be like 300, and we want it to ease in out. So again, I'll copy this and I'll paste this 2 more times. So this next one will be for Instagram, and this last one will be for Twitter. So you can save this right now, and if you hover on it, you can see it's going up, but we need some spacing underneath this. So I'll come here and increase the margin to like 4. Yeah, I think this is okay. All right, cool. So let's just create the form. So I'll go to the form component, and this now will be a form. And remember, I said we'll be hooking it with the Netlify form. So I'll be adding some attributes right here. All the attributes I will be adding are from the Netlify docs in order for our form to work properly. So the first one will be a name. So we just call this contact, and I'll just call this version 1. But you can also call it contact. I just like to name mine like so that when I change something, I can just change the version as well. And the method will be post, because we're actually sending the data. and there's this data netlify attribute. So see data netlify, and we'll set it to true. And inside this, we need to add an input tag, and this type will be hidden, and the name of this will be the form name. We just give it a form name. And now the value should match this, should be exactly what you added for this name. So in our case, the value now will be contact v1. So this right here has to do with grabbing the input from what the user enters and syncing it up with the Netlify forms. But as you can see, we don't have anything yet, so we just need to create our own fields right now. So I'll create a div and give this a class of mb4. Inside it, we'll create a label, and this label will be for name. This will be name. So we'll give this a class name of mb2. For this to work, we need to set it to inline block. Also make it a bit bold. Let's save. Now we have a name, so we need an input now. The ID now will be name. I also need the name attribute so that we can grab the value that the user enters, and this time the name will also be name. Then we also want to make it required, so we can save. And for the class name, just set this to a height of like 45 pixels, width should be full, make it a bit round. I'll do some border radius of small, while the background color of bg slate 900, and while the padding left of 4. So if we save now, see we have a form. So if we click on this now, form should also highlight, as you can see right here. So again, we'll repeat the same process for the email. So I'll copy this and I'll paste this right here, and I'll change this to email, and this should be email. This should also be email. The type now should be email, then the name is going to be email. So can I enter an email right here? And the last one will be for the message. So this is a bit different. I'll just copy this right here, and this should have a class name of mb4. And I'll paste this one that we just copied, and this should be message. Then this should be for message. We'll leave the rest as they are. Then instead of us using an input tag, we'll be using the text area. So text area is that big box that you can adjust to whatever size you want to. So if we go back to our own local project, and for the name, we'll set it to message. The ID as well will be message. If I can type properly again, then we'll add the columns of like 30 and add the rows of 10. So let's see. Then for the class name, I think we should just, it's still similar, so we can copy this right here, and I can just paste it like so. Only that we just need to get rid of this height of 45 pixels. Alright, so it's looking like the original one. Then what we need to add now is this button right here. So we can come right here, and underneath the form, create the button, and this should be send message. This is going to have a class name, and I think we've created this button before, so yeah, something like so. So we can go to our hero, and I should have also made it a component, but we're already fine, so I can copy this and go back and just replace it like so right here. So if I save now and come back, you can see that this is already looking like what we want right here. So we just need to add a cursor of pointer. So by the time we click on this now, it should tell us to enter our email. And remember, you need to make everything required. So do the same here as well. Make this required. So for the footer now, which is this last part right here, you can just create a separate component for that. So say footer.gsx, say rafce, and we'll change this to footer. I will give this a class name. Let me quickly change this to footer as well. And this should have a class name of padding top of 32, padding bottom of 6, and we want everything to be at the middle. Then inside, like so, we'll also create the container class. And for the text, I will just copy this right like so and paste it here. And for this, we just need to just add a margin bottom of like 2. And we want this date to be dynamic. We don't want it to be static. So I'll just clear that out and we'll say I'll just accept this. So this is just the method to get the current year. So it changes by the year. So we don't have to manually do it by ourselves. So I will save this, and for it to work, we need to make sure that we're importing it on our app.jsx file. So I'll save footer. And if I check now, you can see that's coming in, and on desktop screens, everything is looking nice. So let me expand this. And the last thing we'll be doing on this episode is make sure that the forms will work perfectly when we deploy. And in order for us to achieve that, we just need to go to the contact, then go to the forms. And remember, we just did this, but in terms of React, we need to still create a separate form that Netlify will read from, because this is the index page, and the way it's structured in Netlify with React, you have to repeat similar process right here. So I'll quickly do that. So just inside this body right here, I just say contact from handler. Then we'll also create a form like so, and we'll get rid of the action. The name of this form will also be similar to what we've created, say version 1. Then the data will be netlify, and we'll set it to true. Then I also add a third attribute this time. So this is netlify honeypot, and we'll set it to bot field. So what this does is that it basically helps in preventing spam messages. That's what this attribute is for. And inside this form, I'm too lazy right now, so I will just copy this and we'll paste this right here like so. And inside here, we'll create another div, and I'll add the hidden to this, the hidden attribute to it, and we'll pass in the input for the bot field. And this now should be name. And lastly, we need to hide all the types for all this. So essentially now we'll be creating everything again like so. So we can say input, the type now will be hidden, but the name will be name, and we'll copy this 2 more times. This will be email, while this now will be the text area, but it will still be hidden. So So we can now get rid of this one, and this should be double D, and the name now should be message. You can save. So this is where the magic really happens, and to the best of my knowledge, this is more like the backend that makes this form works. So I think all the data will be collected right here, and the same thing is also happening right here. So this is where we're actually sending the data to our Netlify forms. So we can now go back to our page and make sure that we don't have any errors, and I think we have one. So okay, there's a quote right here, so let me go back right now. I'll also have another error, and I think this has to be a closing text error right here. So let's see now. All right, so everything is working fine. All right, guys, that's it for this episode. In the next episode, we are going to deploy our portfolio website to Netlify, and we'll also make sure that our form is working properly.